name is Ashton Redmond.
And my name is Sophie Kenny, and today we will be talking about the radioisotope uranium-234. It has a half-life of 245,000 years, undergoes alpha decay, and the daughter nuclei produced are thorium-230 and an alpha particle. U-234 only occurs naturally from the indirect decay of U-238. In order for U-234 to be created, U-238 has to undergo alpha decay to produce an alpha particle and thorium-234. Thorium-234 then undergoes beta decay to produce a beta particle and protactinium-234, which finally undergoes beta decay to produce a beta particle and uranium-234. Small pure samples of U-234 can also be extracted from samples of plutonium-238 that have been allowed to decay to U-234 via alpha emission. They are then extracted using the chemical ion exchange process, which is when certain materials or solutions react with others to remove and separate various ions. U-234 was used in dental fixtures such as crowns and dentures from 1942 until 1986. U-234 was added to dentures to give them a more realistic look. Natural teeth glow in situations where there is a lot of UV light, such as under the sun. This UV light makes your teeth look brighter. When U-234 was added to dentures, it gave them the same glow under UV light. Without U-234, dentures look dull and gray. Here's a picture of dentures with U-234, and here's a picture of dentures without. Between 1942 and 1986, dentures were mainly made of porcelain. U-234 was added to the porcelain powder used by the manufacturers of dentures before being baked at a very high temperature between 800 and 1400 degrees Celsius, and then set to harden in the molds of patients' teeth. Dental crowns, which were placed over damaged teeth, were made by mixing U-234 into a porcelain paste that coated a thin metal coping fitted to the dimensions of the damaged tooth, which would then be fired also at a high temperature for a hard ceramic finish. One of the main reasons U-234 was used in dental fixtures as opposed to other substances that could also produce fluorescence was because of its compatibility with porcelain. U-234 was able to keep its fluorescence even when it was exposed to high temperatures needed to bake the porcelain.
At the time, uranium-234 was very effective at fixing the lack of fluorescence in fake teeth, and was one of the few substances that could produce the fluorescence of natural teeth while withstanding the heat used to cook the porcelain. However, it is no longer used because although it fixed these issues, it caused much larger problems such as radiation, poisoning, and cancer. Now uranium-234 is no longer used in teeth, and acrylic teeth, which are cheaper to make and less damaging to the body, are more commonly used than porcelain teeth. The porcelain teeth themselves have a social advantage over alternatives because they have a better depth of color, so they look better than acrylic plastic teeth. They are harder, making them more durable and capable of preserving the natural jaw alignment and movements for longer periods of time. And on top of this, they are resistant to staining, making them more socially advantageous because they will stay whiter longer. Unfortunately, dentures containing U-234 posed and still pose many social issues. Firstly, porcelain dentures were heavy, which put more pressure on the bones underneath the gums that could have ultimately accelerated bone loss. In addition, they were difficult to trim because of their high hardness factor. As well as exposing people to radiation by adding uranium to dental fixtures, it also caused neurological abnormalities, reactive airways disease, vision degradation, and roughly 2,000 cases of cancer per year in the U.S. Besides this, the porcelain teeth have been known to make clicking sounds when patients eat, making them appear more artificial. In terms of price, the porcelain teeth are more expensive than acrylic teeth today because they require a larger number of implants, number of hours to fabricate them, and the materials have a higher cost. This makes them an economic issue for companies and manufacturers who have less of a demand for these products due to the high cost and work involved in producing the teeth. Overall, adding U-234 to dental fixtures was and still is not beneficial. Although it makes dentures look more realistic using its fluorescence under different lighting conditions, its advantages were purely based on appearance, and besides that, it has caused more issues than were solved. U-234 is a carcinogen that caused multiple cases of cancer in the users of porcelain teeth and gives off radiation which can damage people's organs in many different ways, causing conditions such as degrading vision and rashes. Furthermore, U-234 should not be used in dental fixtures because it is harmful to those using them and is why it ceased being used in the 1980s. A better alternative is acrylic plastic because U-234 is not necessary to give it a natural coloring. While porcelain puts pressure on the bones and gums, acrylic plastic is lighter and transfers less pressure to these areas. The acrylic teeth are less likely to fracture and are more stain resistant than porcelain teeth. And lastly, acrylic teeth make no clicking sounds that may annoy patients.